What is up, everybody? Oh, it's your boy here. Oh, gee, that's bad. Started the video and straight away forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh, and I don't know how I forget what I'm going to talk about when it's this as well. First I'm going to lay down just because I just wanted to talk about the Halo franchise. And if you don't know what that is, I'd be quite surprised. But you know, Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 Guardians, ODST, and what's the other one? Reach. That's the other one. That's bloody. I can't believe I forgot that one. I just wanted to talk about why that particular franchise. So, to me, it's more Halo 1 and 2 is so important to me because I've sort of said to people, about how that game is more to me than just a game. It's not just something that I played when I was young because when I was young, hang on, let me just close this. I'm getting pounded with hot air. When I was young, I didn't exactly have a whole lot of friends. I was sort of the weird kid, which I can sort of see why now when I look back and I can go, okay, I can understand why now. But I didn't really have many friends or anything, so I had like almost two friends really. My next door neighbour, the bloke who lived across the road, I was mates with him. He was a couple of years older, and my older cousin, he was a few years older again. And that's virtually, I had a couple odd friends here and there, but I never really had that many friends when I was young because I was sort of the odd kid out, you know. I can go into that later if need be and show you some photos because I was a mighty weird kid, and I can understand why everybody else thought that. But that franchise means so much more to me than it just being a game. Like, because that was like my way of not just escaping the reality that I didn't have very many friends and everybody else was all getting all girlfriends and I was like the ugliest kid there, and I always usually got picked the last for things. People only took me on their team when I was there. I was never in anybody's first choice, so I was sort of that kid in school. I always get used to lots of blood noses. I always had like rashes around my mouth. I was bald. Imagine me bald. Whew. I don't even want to imagine it. My hair is terrible at the moment. But that was my way of not only escaping everything. I really enjoyed just diving into that and playing it. And I used to play it with my two friends. Usually at separate times. And that's like the main thing I did when I was young. That's why games are like so much more to me than just games. They're not just something that I hop on and play. I get really involved with the story and the characters, and I feel a part of the world when I'm playing games and everything. And the Halo franchise was just, I don't know, when I was young, there was just something about it. It was phenomenal. It still is. See, I like all of the games. Like, my least favorite one is probably maybe ODST, but that's just because it's so different. It's like really different and weird, but it's still a good game and I still enjoy it. So yeah, but the main reason why it means more to me than it just being a game is because I felt like that. I felt like the game was my friend. When I got home, that's what I enjoyed. That's what I wanted to get home and play. You know, I was still an outside kid. I still played sport and whatnot, but I was never the one to get invited to the parties. I was never the one to, people didn't want me to go to their houses. People didn't really want to invite me to very many places. All sorts of stuff like that, which is okay now because I usually don't go anywhere now. So it's funny how it works. Like, I have lots of friends and I know lots of people now, but I choose to stay home most of the time just because I just like to stay home. I do like to go out every now and then, but I just like home. I'm just comfortable here. Um, but yeah, like that game it was mainly one and two. Um, for one, that's the most I've ever replayed in any games ever. Is the Halo franchise, particularly one. I have played that game. I do not know how many goddamn times, but a lot of times. I seriously, a lot of times. And every time I hear that Halo theme song, which if you don't know what it is, I'm sure that you've probably heard it. When all their memes are going around when people singing it in the bathrooms and shit. It is amazing. The soundtrack in them games, phenomenal. Some of the best sound. Actually, to me, probably the most iconic soundtrack I can think of off the top of my head. Personally, to me, like every time I hear that Halo theme song, number one especially, it nearly brings tears to my eyes because I just remember back then. I just remember and I go, I'll never get to experience that type of just that whole situation of me being young, playing multiplayer or playing through the campaign with my cousin or my mate, like trying to, I don't know, find things that we read on the internet, or how you used to buy game books that used to have like cheats and rumors and stuff in there. How you read about stuff like that and you go, oh my god, you try and find all that sort of stuff, explore every single tiny bit of the game, like it just brings a tear to my eye when I hear that theme song because of how amazing and how much time I spent with that game when I was young. It was more to me than just a game, which lots of people don't get that, and I completely understand that. Games to some people are just games. That's it. They're not anything else, but games were more to me. Games were my friend. Games were, when I played games, I didn't think about the fact that I didn't really have very many friends, or I didn't get invited anywhere, or people didn't really like me, or I was the odd one out, or everybody else was having these girlfriends. I understand it was in like year 6 and 7, but they still have girlfriends, if you even call them, or boyfriends back then, or back when you're that age. You still have them. It's just, and it's not about it's not even a real relationship. It's just, I think it's the fact that I never had that, and I never ever had girls even look at me. I was the one that sort of girls laughed at, and I never necessarily got picked on, because whenever someone tried to pick on me, I bit back. I never let anybody pick on me ever. I did sort of get bullied a little bit for a little while, but once I started to stand up for myself, I went, you know what, I ain't taking anything like that, and I never took it again. So yeah, it's just like that. There's so many reasons why that franchise is so important to me, and it means so much more than just a franchise to me. That's why I'm so excited for Infinite, and I cannot wait. And I hope it comes out on computer as well, because I don't want to get an Xbox Series X just to play that one game, but I will. If I have to, I will, because I don't want to see spoilers about it. I don't want to see anything, because that franchise means more to me than any other franchise I can think of ever. So yeah, I'm actually thinking maybe one day I'm gonna get Master Chief's skull tattooed maybe on my chest or anything. And some people will be like, "Why would you do that? That's idiotic. Getting a video. It's like you don't understand the meaning behind it. I wouldn't just get it just because I like the game. I'm getting it because the meaning behind it. That was my whole childhood. Them games were that's like my fondest memory of when I was young, is playing them games with, maybe my cousin and my mate across the road. And I had this mate who used to live next door, but that was sort of whether it was a mate or not, I'm not really sure, but they were just my fondest memories from when I was a kid, was just playing them games and just playing them with my friends, my small amount of friends, and just that's what I enjoyed in life, and I still that's probably one of my biggest enjoyments. It's sort of been swiveled towards motorbikes at the moment, but games are always something that is special, that holds a special place to me, because it's not just about the games, it's about the experience you get, the characters you learn to fall in love with, the backstory, the... Oh, I just heard a bit of a weird noise. The atmosphere, the world, like they bring it to life. They bring a fictional world and a fictional place to life, and that's why I enjoy games for what they are. And I'm usually not really too critical about games. You know, there's not very many games I can think off the top of my head that I would have that I hate or I dislike. Like I like most games because they're just, you know, they're their own world, they're their own story. As much as they're not real, they're real in their own way. So when you're playing a game, you're experiencing all that. You're experiencing it. It's not just like, I'm not a person that just plays COD or plays online games. Sometimes I do, but I'm more into the story. I want to know the backstory. I want to know the world. I want to know the lore. I want to know everything like that. And I think that's why Halo was such an amazing game to me, because that really jump started my whole gaming life and my enjoyment for gaming, because them games were phenomenal and they had the best story. The gameplay was awesome, the gunplay was awesome, the everything about them games are just amazing. And I think that's why I feel so strongly about them, and why I feel that they had that they mean more to me than what any other franchise probably ever will. And yeah, that's, I just wanted to just go on a bit of detail about it, because I just was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, you know what, I want to express how I feel about that franchise and express how goddamn amazing it is, even still to this day. To this day, it is phenomenal. When I go back and play it, I'd love every second of it. There's the odd mission that it drags on, like I can think of them in one. Oh no, I won't go into it with us too long already. But yeah, you know that it means a lot to me, that franchise, and some games mean a lot to me because of different reasons, not just because they're games, because of the reasons behind the games and what happened in the games and what happened to me from the games and what I was doing and whilst playing the games, and just there's a lot of reasons behind why that franchise I feel is my most beloved franchise of all games. I love different franchises, yep, but none more than that. You know, I can go on a vivid detail about the Supernatural series as well. That is my favourite series of all time, and I've never watched a series that has come close to that. I love that series, and I would suggest it to anyone. Amazing. I love every single episode. But yeah, sorry, now I'm dragging on. Oh, all right. Well, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you've had a good day. I hope you're going to have a good day. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.